What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys were able to recharge your batteries. Let's see what happens this week. I was looking at the charts. The weekly closed. We closed on Sunday and it was green. So we're going to take a look at that. The beginning of the week, the beginning of last week, things were looking pretty red. And what a difference a week makes. Only 7 days in the crypto markets, things can move in unexpected directions. And this was a pleasant surprise right now. Bitcoin is holding steady at 42,000. We're also going to look at the 12-month chart because of the little wick that I was expecting, some type of wick that usually historically has happened. We got that little wick. We're also going to look at, if we have time, after we analyze Bitcoin as best we can on the weekly, monthly, and the 12-month, we're going to look at 3 gaming plays: Carrot, Sinverse, and Creo. We're going to look at see where those charts are. Gaming is going to be a huge sector, guys. So I hope you guys are prepared and are, if you haven't already, positioning yourselves. If you haven't done so already, positioning yourselves as best you can before this Bitcoin halving and getting into good narratives. One of them is gaming. So we're going to take a look at that. And so without further ado, let's do this. All right, so Bitcoin in the day. Last week there was a lot of outflows going out from the ETFs, mainly by Grayscale, but it does seem that they are slowing down. Okay, what I have here on the charts, these lines are the exponential moving averages: the 20, the 50, 110. Interesting right here, where on from like 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th of January. Those days that we were threatening to go below 40,000, we were below 40,000. We didn't go below this 100-day EMA, exponential moving average. I know these are lagging indicators, right? But it's interesting that it did hold support, this line as support. You know, although we dropped below 40, we stayed there, and then we just kind of moved on up right here. All right. Essentially, right here is where we closed the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the futures gap. All right, on Bitcoin, this, and since then we've made essentially a V-shaped recovery. So that's interesting. That bodes well. That bodes bullish. And right now, over the weekend, you take what happens on the weekend with a grain of salt. But right now, we are basically also over the 20, this one, and the 50-day exponential moving average. Let's see if we hold this as support and we start moving up from here. Let's see what the inflows or the outflows are going to be for the ETF, the Bitcoin spot ETF this week. I'll try to keep you updated on that. I want to take a look at Bitcoin on the weekly because we just closed the week Sunday yesterday, and last week I wasn't thinking. We were seeing the beginning of last week that this was red. Okay, it was red. It was a red body, and I'm like, wow, 3 weeks in a row of red. And look at that. It turned everything around, right? And it closed green. Okay, as you can see, there was a big wick down. But it got eaten up pretty fast, guys, pretty well throughout the whole week. You know, even though there was a lot of outflows, there was also apparently a lot of buying as well, and this happened. So that's cool. We're starting off this week pretty well in the green. Let's see what happens. Obviously, it's Monday. We have until Sunday to close this week, this candle. So we'll see what happens there. But pretty interesting. Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength. Okay, and could it be that this week we start moving up because S&P 500, which generally has a positive correlation with Bitcoin. In other words, when the S&P goes up, Bitcoin also tends to go up, and the S&P has printed a new all-time high. Okay, these last couple of days, these last couple of weeks, recently, within the last week, it has printed new all-time highs. Within the last couple of weeks, it's printed new all-time highs, guys. So that's interesting. Could it be that this week Bitcoin plays catch up, and we start moving up? Could be. I'm just speculating here. Now, the monthly with a few days left. Today's the 29th, so we have 2 days left. We're printing this monthly. Remember, this monthly was printing a big body right here, a body that looked like it was printing a turnaround. See, right? Because if this body was here and this big wick here that you see right here was printing that's a negative print, and it could have signaled the a downward movement. You know, maybe the next couple of months of going down. But now, with only a couple of days left, we are very, very close to printing a green week, or at the very least, just kind of like this cross right here, okay, which could be a continuation pattern, right? Because in this case, it continued up. All right, so as long as we don't have a huge drop this week and the next 2 days, right, where the body's like that, which would be a very bearish. It seems that things are turning around, and it seems that things are looking bullish also from the monthly perspective, okay, from the monthly time frame, which is cool. Just to get to the green, just to get to where we are, just to get green, we have to go over basically 42,300. Right now we're at 42,084. All right, at the beginning last week it looked improbable, or the possibilities seemed very low that we could print a green month, that we'd come out printing a green month, because again, that body was here, was big, and I was like, it's possible. I don't know how probable it was, but hey, we're right there. We're knocking on the door with only a couple of days left. So let's see if we can pull it off and get a green print of this month in January. But see this wick down here? There's a lot of volatility. See this huge wick up here? It's 49,000, which was the ETF, and then after that, things started going downhill. We only dropped as low as 38,492. I mean, only, but this was needed, right? Because if we take it on the 12-month, we did print that little tiny wick. I don't know if you can see it. That little tiny wick, which historically has been the case, right? As I mentioned to you guys in previous videos, my theory that, not even my theory, just what I've seen here in previous cycles, that this particular 12-month candle usually prints a little wick into the body of the previous candle, which it did right now, right? We got as low as 30, what is that? 38,000, 38,500. And I think that's enough. Maybe we drop lower. I mean, I guess it was only like a 20% drop from the $49,000 local high, right? From this high, 49,000, whatever it was. But it's enough. It's enough to print that little wick, and I think that could be it. Now, time will tell. Time will tell, obviously. And here's the little wick right here. As you can see, this was a long wick. The representation of this would be the previous cycle's representation of this candle. This was a long wick, but that was because of COVID. And this is the representation of this candle as well. Smaller wick into this body. All right, so here we've done enough. We've done the requisite to at least have the little wick there. And let's see if now we start moving up. As I've maintained, I think we're gonna have a body somewhere between 80 to 100,000 this on this candle, which is this year. Okay, this is a 12-month candles that we're looking at, 12-month time frame that we're looking at. Okay, guys, so keep that in mind as the Bitcoin halving approaches, and you're making hopefully your final buys or just getting your portfolio to where you want it. But things are looking pretty decent, and what a difference, like I mentioned, a week makes, guys. All right, on the monthly. So let's see if we are able to print a positive green month for January. We've done, like I mentioned, we've done the requisite. We've come down, and now do we come up? And could February be a even stronger month? Time will tell. Let's see what happens. All right, but like I mentioned, could we be playing catch up to the S&P 500? I mean, even the Nasdaq is looking strong. The Dow Jones looking strong. We'll see what happens. Let me take a look at the monthly on the DXY. We have to know what's going on with the DXY. How does that look? Maybe we're range bound for the DXY. But we'll see if we have to break through here first. There's a lot of tests for the DXY. I don't see honestly as being too bullish, to be honest, from what I see. Maybe range bound. Maybe we stay around here for a little while in the area, just kind of oscillating back and forth. We'll see, but we do have to keep an eye on this stuff. This looks kind of bullish. I mean, I thought that maybe we could get up here again, test this area 104 before it drop again, or come back down. Basically, be in this range right here. Boom, 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 boom. we'll see what happens, but I will keep an eye on it and I will report back anything that I find that's interesting. All right, so now let's go to the altcoins. As I mentioned, we're going to take a look at Carrot, Synverse, and Creo. Like a music thing where you read the music and play the instrument. Once we get out of this area, guys, and we tested the lower part again, all right? Last time we were playing here, we went up. We couldn't make it. We faked out and came back down, tested this lower part, and now look at this. Quite a few days, 6 days of moving up. We're gonna go probably test this area up again. This time, do we break it? Do we keep moving up? Depends on what happens with the rest of the market, but that looks pretty good. Alaska Gold Rush is what we're looking at, by the way. Carrot is the ticker. It's my average buy price at 0.5. I'm just above. I have it in staking, which has some good staking terms. If you want to go take a look at that, you can put in staking and get, depending on the time frames that you decide to lock it up for, get up to 150%. So that's pretty good. And again, this is a AAA game. Game looks awesome. Sounds similar to if you are into gaming, Red Dead Redemption. I'm not. So it looks something like that. Interesting concept. Very cool. The way it looks. Team seems focused. Everything checks off on this project. I am done accumulating, but I did want to bring it to your attention that, you know, last 6 days have been looking bullish. And once we get out of this area, whether it's now or later, this thing is going to move up in a strong way, in my opinion. All right, next one, Synverse, and as we can see, it looks like it is flattening out right here and building that, the flat part of the shoulder, or the rounded part of the shoulder before. I don't know how long it'll stay flattening out before it starts moving up and building the last part of the shoulder like that. All right. So far that's looking pretty good, and it's also inside this channel, right, which is actually a bullish channel, holding support right here. And if we are in fact going to have a strong week and a strong month, then, you know, obviously this will move with the rest of the markets and it will start doing this, guys. Eventually, I have targets at least 11 cents for this year of 2024. Also, I should mention, back to like the macro and Bitcoin and everything, there's a lot of economic data coming out. 31st, the Federal Reserve is going to decide on what they're going to do regarding the interest rates. All right, so that's going to be interesting. There's also more economic data coming out this week, so it should be a pretty volatile week. So just buckle up and be ready for that. Be ready for anything, guys. But I mean, if things come out positive, and if the data comes out positive as how the market interprets it for the market, then we could be seeing a strong week up, and all these tokens will eventually be moving up as well, because crypto moves up essentially in unison, right? Bitcoin, then the large caps, then mid caps, and then low caps. All right. But again, this looks like the inverse head and shoulders is playing out. We're doing a little sideways, and then at some point over here, we're going to start moving up, guys. So Synverse, and Synverse is another gaming play that I think is going to do at least 100x. I am very bullish on Synverse. And another one that I think is very good, called Creo Engine, another gaming play. And look at this. After this drop, essentially doing what I think Synverse is going to do, right? Synverse, we're right here, this flattening out, and then eventually we're going to do something like this, right? Like the other shoulder. So Creo is actually right here already, although at a good area to buy. This project has a great community as well, as does Synverse and as does Carrot. Great community, a lot of people behind it, and within the community, definitely always shilling, which is good. We need people to market the projects that we're in, right, and to let other people know about it. Creo Engine is going to do really well, and right now, even though it has pumped up like this, and even though it's on the upswing of this, it's still, I would think, a good buy zone, especially if we are to have a very strong week, very strong month, a very strong rest of the year. You know, things are just going to continuously move up, right? And for me, the bias is towards the upside, right? Because I think, and I think that's it. We're going to leave it there. For me, the bias is towards the upside, because we are, as far as I can see, as far as I can tell, we are in a bull market. Okay, I don't care what anyone thinks. From what I can tell, what I see, we are in a bull market. We're not yet in the bull run. The bull run usually happens at least 200 days after the Bitcoin halving, and that's I'm going to be very bullish at that time. And that's actually when I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to start selling everything that I have. All right. Eventually just selling dollar cost averaging out, selling everything that I have. And I will start turning bearish, where my bias will be that everything is going to be towards the downside after 2025. In 2026, I will be extremely bearish. I will think my bias will be towards the downside and everything will continue to drop. So it's not like I'm a perma bull. I'm just playing it how I see it, and I see right now that we are in a bull market, right? An upward moving market. So right now, for me, the bias has to be towards the upside, and well, I just gotta call it how I see it. All right, and that's how I see it, guys. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. Really helps the algorithms, and I want to get pushed out. I want my videos to get pushed out in front of as many people as possible, because I am trying to grow this channel. So if you can help and do that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys. Have a great week ahead. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.